ONE FC had their first live event on American soil this past Friday, and Rodtang was the co-main event. He got $100,000 bonus. That's a bonus, that's not his purse, for his KO. So we got to look at it and we got to see what he accomplished to get this much money. So most of you already know Rodtang. If you don't, he is an absolute Muay Thai beast at 135 pounds, something like 271 wins, crazy amount, and this dude is young. I don't know if he's 23, 24, something like that, and the number of fights which he has is mind-blowing. But it's not the number of fights he has, it's the style in which he fights, which draws fans to him and makes him a crowd favorite. He will take shots, he'll just eat shots to give shots, and he'll truck around the ring and throw his hands up when somebody does not want to engage with him, or if they a tall run, like they move backwards. So he is just spectacular to watch, and in these Muay Thai fights, he is competing in 4-ounce gloves, which just makes it so scary because he hits really hard. Now this past Friday, he was up against a Mexican fighter named Tabares. I don't actually know this guy. I think he was new to ONE FC, but once I started watching, I went, okay, this guy's here to fight. This guy actually has some nice clean punches, and I think he had around 35 fights, maybe about 5 losses, so overall a very good record. And the first solid thing we see from both fighters early on is front kicks, lengthy front kicks from Tabares to control the distance, but Rodtang doing an excellent job of catching those front kicks. Once he catches them, he's dragging the leg past and coming in for big body hooks. Now this is something that we saw Buakaw do so well in K1 and actually score knockdowns. As he pulled in, he'd come up to head level and put people down. But what Rodtang does, especially with these small gloves, is he goes down to the body because it's just gonna hurt so much if it lands. Now first, let's just break down this technique because it's something which some of you might want to be doing, but you're just struggling with a little bit. Fast tutorial here. What you wanna make sure you're doing when you trap is lead hand going low and backhand coming high, clearing the face. This is the way that I like to catch, whether they throw with their left leg or their right leg. If you can hollow out just slightly to minimize the impact of the kick, that's even better. As soon as you've caught here, you need to pull the leg off to the side to make sure they can't throw a second front kick at you. From here, you have a little second where you can pause, assess, and then you're going to drag both hands down to the side, and the arm that's lower now becomes the hook, either at body level or up at head level. Now the very impressive thing which we see Tabares do to counter this, and he must have done some prep and known it was going to be coming, is as he gets dragged in, he turns. He turns sideways, which makes it harder for the body shot to land flush into the solar plexus. He's covering his head as he gets dragged in. It's and he's covering. So then he comes into a spinning elbow, and he does this numerous times, which shows me that he trained it for this fight. And he actually lands one of them in particular on Rodtang, but guess what? Rodtang has just got that head, which makes him so hard to knock down, so it doesn't look like it affects him. And as much as I like this technique, and the spinning elbow is spectacular, I think Tabares, while he's spinning, he's still taking the brunt of the impact off the body shot and not really giving much back with that spinning elbow. Now next, let's talk about what Tabares should do if every time he throws a front kick, he's getting dragged in and taking a body shot. What should his go-to alternative become? But first, before we get to that, I want to take a moment and I want to thank the sponsor of this episode, By Optimizers. Their magnesium product is my go-to supplement, the one I use to get better sleep, to recover faster, which I need to do right now because I'm in training camp. You can head over to magnesiumbreakthrough.com/Gabriel and use that promo code Gabriel10. 37 years old. I've always worried about slowing down a little bit, having my body just go, oh, why are we still doing this? But it's not. And this is the big difference, I think, which is helping me stay fit and recover faster. So what should Tabares do when your front kick keeps getting caught? Do you keep throwing it, and just hope at some point that these front kicks start becoming effective? No, what you should start doing is pumping that leg up to get a reaction, because you know you know that Rodtang is reaching for the catch. Up, and then you fall into your punches. If you come here, drop, and then go to punch, you're gonna see Rodtang go huh, and back up. So it's gotta be very fast. It's gotta be here, I step forward because I need to close that distance, and I throw my jab. And what you can do as well is as you lift, you pump your shoulder back. So if I'm facing towards you, I don't come here and drop because there's not gonna be much power. I preload this shoulder and I can come with a hook or I can come with a jab. That's a very easy way to make the front kick fake, effective, and land something solid off that lead arm. But we didn't actually see that from Tabares. What we do see in the early part of the second round is a really fast flash knockdown, which didn't get scored a knockdown, but definitely was, from Rodtang. He steps in, rising elbow. What I want to focus on here is what he does with his head. He turns his head sideways and puts his hand up in front here, which is making him ultra safe. If you come in like this and somebody sneaks something through, you're gonna be going, ooh, that's no fun. Why did I try that elbow? Because stepping in like that at this tight range definitely puts you in that position where you can get countered with a punch upon entry. It's gonna help keep you safe and out of position for big counter shots. And now we move on to the end of the fight. The big KO that got Rodtang $100,000 bonus. Do I think this was the most spectacular KO I've ever seen? Do I think, oh my gosh, that deserves a bonus of that magnitude? No, not really. But we have to keep in mind that Rodtang is one of the massive stars of ONE FC. He's a name which everybody loves because he just puts on such spectacular fights. So when he puts on a KO, especially for the first time on US soil, and the CEO is like, whew, that's what we want. We want this so people watch. Yeah, he probably does deserve it. But let's go through this. Let's break down exactly what happened because it was still pretty cool just when you look at Rodtang's fight IQ. So as we already talked about, he's catching the kicks, he's dragging down, he's hitting the body shot, but that elbow, that spinning elbow is constantly coming. So he needs to be ultra aware that once he hits here, he either gets his hand back to defend on this side or he has this hand already up. And this is the one which really does need to be up. So as he gets Tabares close to the edge of the cage, Tabares fires off a front kick. He gets dragged down, he comes with this spinning elbow, and what happens after that is we see Rodtang go, okay, spinning elbow blocked. No, I'm gonna follow up now. Tabares is a little slow off his spinning elbow, returning and getting his guard up. And Rodtang with just a short little elbow right to the face, finishes the fight. Again, we have seen more spectacular KOs than this many, many times, but what I really like about it is we saw this technique over and over and over, and we don't see Rodtang taking advantage of anything after his grab, drag, body hook. But now, as we get to the second round and his fight IQ is getting all that data collected, he's going, no, you know what, I'm gonna drag, I'm gonna hit, I'm gonna defend, and then I'm gonna fire back because there's something there which I can exploit. This is what happens when you have 271 wins and you have that ability to go, okay, this is what's happening, I'm gonna make adjustments, and I'm gonna beat this guy because of a weakness he has shown me. Very nice stuff from Rodtang. What would I like to see next for this guy? I would like to see him rematch Haggerty. Haggerty just beat Nongo for the 145-pound title. Everybody was blown away by that. Just going, oh my gosh, we didn't think Nongo could get knocked out like that. Haggerty has lost 2 times to Rodtang. And Rodtang was just a beast in those fights. But now Haggerty's up higher. What do I think is a good way that both fighters are gonna have a weight which is fair? Well, we can't have Haggerty go down to 135 again. He looked too drained there. We can't have Rodtang go up to 145 because I think the weight discrepancy is just gonna be an excuse if he loses. Catch weight, 140 pounds between these two guys. I think that is the perfect fight to make. And aside from that, guys, we're gonna call it a day here. Remember, if you wanna support the channel, head over to magnesiumbreakthrough.com/Gabriel. Use that promo code Gabriel10. Help get your health on point and support the channel. If you enjoyed the episode, please give it a like. If you haven't already, join the channel, get subscribed. As always, train hard. I will see you back here soon for another video.